These are the plaintiffs, Cheryl and Aaliyah Martin. Cheryl says her daughter, Aaliyah, was walking her dog one evening when the defendant's two dogs made a beeline for them and went into attack mode. Her poor dog was bitten something awful. Her daughter was also attacked, and the defendants don't have an ounce of couth because they never even apologized to them. They're suing for $199.56 for vet bills and damaged property. These are the defendants, Suzanne Daly and Scott Convery. Suzanne says the dogs got into a yapping contest outside one day, and then 24 hours later, the plaintiffs present them with a vet bill and a bill for a torn sweatshirt. The vet bill wasn't even itemized. She doesn't think the two dogs ever touched one another, and they aren't paying just because the plaintiffs are demanding it. They're accused of letting their dog run loose.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff was walking her dog when one of the defendants' dog viciously attacked her dog, and she didn't even get an apology. But the defendants say the dogs were barking at each other, and that's it. It's a scam. It's the case of Bite Me.
Thank you, Douglas. Cheryl Martin and Aaliyah Martin?
Yes.
You are suing Suzanne Daly and Scott Convery for $199, the amount that you say you are out as a result of their dog escaping from their home. Tell me what happened.
My daughter went to walk the dog because I wasn't able to walk the dog.
Are you the daughter?
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
I was walking my dog, and their dog came running towards us.
From where?
Their house.
Was the dog inside the house or outside the house when it came? It was outside? Okay, and was the dog on a leash?
No.
And what happened?
It was attacking my dog, and it bit my sweater. And I was trying to get the dog off of their dog off of my dog without getting bit. And I was trying to pick up my dog, and then the owner of the dog, he got his dog, and we went back home.
Okay, and did their dog bite your dog?
It was on top of it. I don't know.
Okay. Did your dog have to go to the vet?
Yeah. That night I was downstairs with her, and she started whining and whimpering, which she never does. So the next day I took her to the vet, and they had to give her medicine.
What kind of medicine?
It's on the bill.
Okay, can I see the bill?
Shot. Sure.
So you're suing for the amount of the vet bill, the amount for a new leash. Why?
Because the leash that we had was a retractable leash.
Yeah, but you're suing twice for leashes.
Yeah, because when I took her to the vet, the one that we had, it wasn't working. It was a retractable leash. So the one that I got, it wasn't retractable, but I needed something because I usually walk the dog. And so I got that one.
I just go somewhere where they sold a retractable leash. All right, so you want to get paid twice for a leash, and then you're suing for $35 for a new school jacket. What happened to the school jacket?
The dog bit it.
Okay, can I see it? What happened with, why is that paint? Is that a painting? What is that?
No, it's a photograph of the dog, just to give you an idea of Zoe, our dog, with the chair next to it to give you a representation of the size.
Okay, because...
It's not
okay.
a big German Shepherd or a Pit Bull.
Right, but I mean, it's a little yappy ones you got to watch for, but what happened? Why was the dog loose?
Okay, well, what happened was my husband and my son were in the driveway, and they were changing my son's tire. I was in the house. I heard some barking, so I ran outside, and I yelled down, "I'm so sorry," and I went in the house, and that was the end of my situation with it. Then a few minutes later, our neighbor came down the street. And she came, and Scott was still working on the car, and he came up to her and said, "Is everything okay?" And she said, he said, "I'm sorry, is everything okay?" She said, "Yes, everything's okay, but your dog ripped my daughter's jacket." And he said, "Everything's okay?" She said, "Yes, but I'll take $35 for the jacket." So then he said,
what did you say?
Well, I went out to apologize because the dog ran off the property, and my main concern was, did the dog get hurt or did your daughter get hurt? And Cheryl said, "No, everybody's fine." I'm like, "All right, great. That's the most important thing." And then she said, "Well, the jacket got ripped and I'll take $35. And I was a little just taken back, but I said, "Oh, all right." And I was in the middle of changing the tire on the car in the driveway. My hands were dirty, and I didn't have any cash in my pocket. I said, "I don't have any money with me now, but I'll get you the money, I guess, and give it to you next time. I went to the bank. I got a money order. 2 days after that was on a Tuesday. On a Thursday, we had family come over, and they came in the front door, and in the front door was the vet bill, which I had submitted, and it's page 2 of the vet bill, just showing a total of the vet bill.
Okay, do you have a page 1 to the vet bill?
Yes, you have.
Okay.
So we got that bill. I tried to call the vet to see, was the dog okay? There's doggy HIPAA laws these days, so the vet couldn't tell me anything about what transpired.
Okay, let me tell you what's not on the bill. What's not on the bill is anything relating to a bite or anything else. Or behavioral change result because of a bite or an attack. The word attack isn't anywhere there. It's like routine little stuff.
No, the first 2. One was the medication that she got, and the other one was for the exam.
Rimadyl is for pain.
So are small dogs as aggressive as big dogs? What do you think?
I think they are. I definitely think they are.
Why do you think they are?
I think they have more to prove.
More to prove. Okay, I think there's an answer to this. What do you think?
I think so, because I think small dogs are usually easier to get close to people. Like, they usually play with people, but...
Oh, God! Somebody crack the code. Are they as responsible?
Yeah.
As aggressive?
Have you ever seen a Chihuahua? Those things are feisty.
Okay, you know why they're as aggressive? They don't know they're small, right? Going inside the courtroom.
I just wanted to say one thing about the leash. We had the incident happen on Tuesday. We got the part 2 of the vet bill on Thursday. On Friday, we left town. We went on our honeymoon. We didn't get back till Easter Sunday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We didn't get back till Easter Sunday. When we get back on Easter Sunday, there was a handwritten note from Cheryl saying, can you please drop off the $164 for the dog bites and scratches caused by your dog, payment for the vet visit, and reimbursement for the jacket your dog bit. I mean, there was no mention of a leash, of nothing. The incident lasted 10
there's a reason
seconds.
to get stuff resolved really quickly. You wait any longer and it'll get even bigger. Can you please drop off the $164 due for the dog bites and scratches caused by the dog? So how did you come up with the 160 something? Is it 129.77 plus 35? Yeah. Okay.
And in my conversation with Cheryl, she said that there was no harm done. No one was hurt.
Okay, folks, you know what? Keep your dog inside your yard, okay? And in the meantime, pay the lady $164. If it was good enough for you, right afterwards, it's good enough for me as well. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, that big picture of the dog didn't do you much good. So stand right next to it. The picture cost you $50 to have made?
Yes, it did.
Okay, well, you have a nice picture of the dog, but what about the verdict?
I'm not too happy about it because I feel like it's fabricated. She lost her credibility with me when she gave me part 2 of a bill that wasn't itemized. So I feel like it really wasn't a credible.
Well, don't you feel like you're responsible for some of it?
Well, I feel it was a very short incident. The 2 dogs were kind of running around each other. It wasn't like a mauling or anything like that. So I really don't feel like really I was responsible for anything, to be honest.
All right. Well, head right down. Nice picture. All right, so step on in here. You didn't get everything you sued for, but almost. So step up here. You satisfied now?
Yes, I am.
Are you going to still walk your dogs in front of their place?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Might happen again.
Oh, well, we'll be ready for
See
them.
you next time.
All right. Take care.
Harvey.
Thank you.
So when a dog bites another dog, you have to prove negligence. Here there was negligence because the dog was loose. When a dog bites a person, in most states, the dog owner is automatically liable.